Welcome back to the show. We're joined now by senior Christine Karl and sophomore Jenny Swanson. Jenny, looking back to that North Park game, the thing that obviously sticks out is your guys' clutch shooting down the stretch. You hit the triple to tie it, the jumper that was eventually the game winner. What's going through your head in these big moments?
I try not to think of that it's like the game winner. I just like go out there and shoot like I normally do. Like when I think about it, like I think that it's like during the game. It's not the end shot. So I just shoot like I regularly do and try to make it for the team.
Kind of one of those things, you just kind of make sure your mind is empty, nothing's going through except just mechanics.
Yep.
And I know, this isn't the first time you hit a big shot towards the end of the game. You hit one earlier in the season. How do you build that confidence to just not be nervous, to not have those thoughts creeping into your head?
Yeah, it's definitely a mental thing. Like if you think, oh, this is the last shot, like I'm gonna have to win this for the team, like you're definitely gonna miss it because it's so much pressure. You just gotta let your mind be free and just be like, I made a bunch of shots in my career and like this is just one of the many. So.
For sure. And Coach, between the big shots that she hit last night, we were also talking about Jackie hitting those free throws late in the game as well. I imagine having some players like that are able to hit those clutch shots makes you breathe a little bit easier?
Yeah, it does. It does. When Jackie got fouled at the end of the regulation, I really wasn't nervous. I didn't think about what we were going to do off the misses. She does a good job in practice and even in games, stepping up and knocking down big shots. So I wasn't worried about that. And at the end of the game, I mean, Swanee was calling for the ball. You could see it in her eyes. She wanted that basketball, and that's a good thing to have in a game winner like that.
But you were telling us during the break that when you saw Jackie's second free throw go off initially, you were a little worried.
Yeah, the second free throw, I thought she short-armed it a little bit, and that's about the first second that I started to get nervous, but it bounced in and worked out for us. We'll take it.
Hey, Christine, you're one of the senior leaders on this team. Is this a jumpstart win you guys kind of need going into the CCIW? Two real tough games starting out. The schedule didn't do you guys any favors, but I imagine going forward, this has to feel really good.
It does, and we really needed it, and I think that we played very well together, and to finish a game like that and all be on the same page and all be so composed is like a great sign for the rest of the season, I think. So I think that we can definitely build off of this win.
And you always talk about it. It seems almost cliche, people talking about building off a win. You just said it there yourself. How does it go into practice the next couple of days? What are some things that you've seen kind of as maybe one of the leaders on this team that you guys can physically do to actually do that?
I think just sticking with what we've been doing. The other day we had a pretty well-structured practice and we all got after it. Like we were all going really hard, and I think that if we keep that up, we'll be perfectly fine, and we just have to keep doing what we do, and I think we'll be good. Just
kind of one of those things, maybe stay in the course. Don't try to consciously do anything different.
When you start trying way too hard, it's just not going to come naturally. So just got to kind of let it come.
For sure. Well, the story of the year for the women's basketball team has been what we've been talking mostly about today. New coach Michelle Roof taking over at the helm of the Cardinal program. We take a closer look at that transition in this week's Cardinal Corner.
Jackie Orico has seen it before. For the third time in her basketball career at North Central, she has a new coach. She admits it's been different than she expected.
It's been a little crazy, having 3 different coaches, but I think personally, it's been a good experience, Each coach has their own different coaching style and their different techniques, and I've been lucky enough to get to experience 3 different ones.
For the rest of the young Cardinals squad, new coach Michelle Roof's high energy and fundamental heavy technique has been a breath of fresh air.
I feel like she's really strict, and she just wants us to do what she wants us to do, and I feel like that's working very well, because we just needed discipline last year. We're a young team, and she brings discipline and the will to win.
The other thing Roof has brought to the Cardinals has been an up-tempo and attacking style, and to prepare to play that way, it wasn't easy.
We ran so much. We were in the gym 2 hours a day just running sprints the whole time.
This year's preseason was probably the hardest we've worked because, we did want to be able to run, and, we knew that was her coaching mentality, was to run in transition.
And the Cardinals have seen some dividends. Getting out and running against opponents like Dominican and North Park brought hard-fought victories, with North Central wearing down their foes in the final minutes.
She said she wanted us to be a transition team, and we just got right into it. Our hard work during the summer and our hard work on the off season just paid off.
But implementing a system takes time, and Jackie Orico knows that. The senior leads the Cardinals in scoring this season, while also bringing along many players on the young North Central roster. The roster she knows can produce wins in bunches, the more experience it gets.
We have a very young team, and I think that it's going to be beneficial. I mean, you know, me and Chrissy are the only 2 seniors on the team, and so they'll only be losing 2 players. And so I think with, you know, the young, the fresh legs and all of that, I think it'll be a good help for them.
Christine, you transferred here from Lewis. After, you know, transferring here, playing a year at North Central, going into your senior season, you hear that you're getting a new coach. Was it one of the things where you're almost like, here we go again?
You know, it was, when we found out, it was kind of a big deal. You know, it's hard your senior year, and I'm sure it's harder for the younger girls not knowing. And it's kind of always in the back of your mind, like, what's going to happen. But me and Jackie kind of pulled together, and we had to keep a positive attitude, because if you don't, then you're going to be kind of left out to dry. So we kept a positive attitude, and it's working out great so far. So we have no complaints as of now. So it's going really well. And
what's changed about practices? I know the one that we were at this week, it seemed very intense, up-tempo, go, 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 right?
Yep. Practices are a lot different this year. We have the practice schedule before we practice, so we kind of know what to expect and know what we need to do in order to not get punished for certain things. So we already have an idea of what has to get done in practice in order for it to be a good practice. So.
And Jenny, we've seen you guys kind of move to a little bit more of an up-tempo style, go, get out in transition. And I know, you know, all the guards I played with when I was playing basketball way back in junior high. But, you know, it seemed like these guys, everybody likes to run. All guards like to run the floor, be able to shoot in transition. So I imagine a system like this for a shooter like you has to be almost a dream come true.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love running up and down the floor. Like, my favorite type of game is like fast breaks all the time, like just looking for your teammates, 3-on-2s, like 2-on-1s. Like, I just love driving to the hole in transition. And like that will also help us, like, because teams do get tired, and I feel like we sub in more than most teams. So like it helps us because most teams are tired when we run against them. So.
And do you think that helps with you guys having a little bit of a deeper bench that, you know, come in a game like last night where it's close towards the end of the game, that really, no matter who's in there, you're not going to get some people that maybe are as nervous because they haven't been in that situation before?
Yeah, I think it helps a lot. We have a really deep bench, and when you or sub people in, like, you won't get a difference from like the person coming out. Like, everybody's really like mentally strong, and they know like what they have to do, and they don't make any mistakes. So that's good.
And you guys didn't really come out in the press until late in the game last night, but being able to get up there and get in somebody's face, you talked about transition in the offensive end, but, you know, being able to get up and force those turnovers, really harass some people. I imagine just being able to fly around and do that is pretty fun to watch too.
Yeah, like Coach was saying before, we have a lot of athletic people and quick people, so we're able to get like up on people and force them to make mistakes. I feel like we're a team built to press people because we're so fast, and like we have very good vision on the court. So.
And Christine, kind of as a senior, going forward with this roster, you and Jackie, the only 2 seniors on this team, I imagine you, from being at the perspective that somebody's been there every day, looking at the rest of this team, it seems like the future's pretty bright for the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, I definitely think so. We've had a lot of people step up last year and as well this year. I mean, Swanee is a sophomore and she's playing great, and I think they have a very good chance of eventually like stepping up and being one of the top teams in the conference, without a doubt.
As we kind of look back here at the here and now, what are some of your goals as a player, and kind of more looking at the team going forward this season?
You know, it is our last season, and I know me and Jackie have talked about it. It's really crazy. It doesn't seem like it until you get there. And I think really we're just trying to show, like, don't give up, don't stop until you're done. I mean, it's really hard because you don't realize how short it is. So I think we're trying to like let them see, like, get it done, like do everything you can every day, because it's going to end pretty soon. It goes by very, very quickly. So, yeah.
One of those cliched things you're maybe trying to pass on to some of the younger players?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Definitely. Well, guys, thanks for coming by. We appreciate the time, and good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Well, the women's basketballers haven't been the only busy ones in the midst of this winter sports season. After this short break, Clark Tusher will join us to give us the rest of the Cardinal picture.